So I have a question. Henry or Joseph? As leaders and team members today in business, facing the onslaught, the unprecedented disruption of artificial intelligence and automation, that difference, the question between Henry and Joseph, is the difference between profit or loss. It's the difference between fully engaged, excited employees and non-playable characters accepting salaries and paychecks. In fact, that decision could be the difference between your personal success or your failure. So who are Henry and Joseph? Henry David Thoreau, the celebrated 19th century writer, is best known for the book Walden, which he wrote living alone in the woods by a pond. And one of the declarations he made in Observations was that the mass of men and women lead lives of quiet desperation. And he came to that conclusion because he saw far too many people working in their jobs or living their lives with no enthusiasm and no excitement. In fact, they were miserable, but deep down inside, they longed for more, a lot more. He made that observation in his day and time, and you could say that was then, but I would argue many people today feel very similar, quiet desperation. In fact, billions of people right now, today, maybe you, are worried, will AI take my job? And unlike the Industrial Revolution, which took decades to actually unfold and had very targeted job impact, artificial intelligence could theoretically threaten all of our jobs. So what does that mean? And what do you do? Well, roll forward 100 years, and there's another book. This book is written by Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell's book was called Hero of a Thousand Faces. You may have heard of it. You've definitely heard of the pattern he discovered. In studying thousands of myths, he realized that myths around the world repeat the same thing. And that myth is now called the hero's journey. And while the hero's journey is important for movies and books, it's even more important for you and for me in our real lives. Because what Campbell realized is that the myths are simply exaggerated, fanciful versions of real life. The heroes who accomplish amazing things, maybe incredible things, are just exaggerated versions of us accomplishing the goals that we do. The scale is clearly different in Star Wars or something versus your life, but the pattern is the same. So what is that pattern, the hero's journey? Well, the hero's journey starts with something called departure. A normal person living a normal life, not particularly happy, not particularly sad, but in the wee small hours of the morning, they're haunted. And they're haunted not by a ghost, but actually a deep longing for excitement, for growth, and for meaning. Then something happens, something bold, something unusual they couldn't plan on. The hero is shocked with a view and a vision of another world, bold and amazing possibilities, otherwise known as the call to adventure. But the hero, as excited as they are, the hero withdraws and pulls back a bit because they're afraid and they don't jump at the call to adventure. But Joseph Campbell tells us that just like a phone sitting here, the call to adventure will keep ringing and ringing until you pick it up. So at about this time in the adventure, a mentor arrives. And the mentor helps the hero see what the new world actually looks like and what their role in the new world actually is. So now, her confidence restored. She's got a mentor by her side. She boldly accepts the call to adventure, and off to the hero's journey she goes, and immediately hits a wall of challenges. And what are those challenges today? Well, today it could be new technology. My boss wants to change my job. What's all this office Machiavellian politics I'm dealing with? But new allies are formed, new adversaries are identified, multiple obstacles are overcome, but no hero's journey is complete unless the hero faces his or her dragon. And the myths depict a dragon or a villain like Darth Vader for a reason. It represents the hero's biggest fear, and that is death. But our biggest fear in real life is often the fear of failure. So only when the hero reaches deep inside themselves and they find a strength they didn't know they even had are they able to vanquish the dragon and move to the third phase of the hero's journey, and that's the return. So now the hero has vanquished the dragon, and they seize the prize. Well, what is the prize? The prize could be a magical amulet, or a shiny ring, or a chest full of gold. But it's often an unshakable confidence that's obtained only when the hero has transcended their former limitations. So now, the hero's got one more step, and that's to go back home to the tribe, share some very exciting stories, and maybe a little bit of the treasure. So maybe you all now see the hero's journey is not just about myths and movies and books. It's about you and me. It's about you and me accepting that call to adventure when it comes. It may be big, it may be small. It may be just leading your first team meeting. And what does this mean about AI and automation? After decades of experience in work, I can tell you this represents the biggest opportunity I've ever seen for companies to thrive and individual careers to move forward. And fortunately, I've had the luck, the timing, and the honor, frankly, to work with some companies that have been incredibly successful implementing AI and automation. And they found their own treasures. They found, instead of magical amulets, they found more innovation in the products and services that they sell, more motivation from the teams of people who produce those products and services that make the company succeed. And finally, more profitable transformations by using AI and automation. The bottom line is their companies thrived and their careers moved forward, not in quiet desperation. So in closing, what I'd like to say, if we all have an opportunity, and we do, to embrace AI and automation as a hero's journey, and rather than something scary, our future can include adventure, challenge, and treasure. So now, what I'd ask you to do is listen quietly. Do you hear that voice? That might just be your call to adventure in the age of AI and automation. Good luck.